Hey friends, Lucian here with the Bullish Bears team. Wanted to make this video on support and resistance. If you're a member of our community or you've been around for a while following us, you'll hear me and pretty much all of us talking about support and resistance and how it really it means everything when trading. You guys hear of the battle between the bulls and the bears, right? Bulls believe a stock is going up. Bears believe a stock is going to go down, and so then hence that battle, right? That tug of war, and then that tug of war leaves a trail, right? Now those trails that are formed between the bulls and the bears form candlesticks, right? So you'll see candlesticks. Actually, if before I get started in that, if you haven't been over at our website yet, head over to bullishbears.com. We actually have candlestick courses, a couple free ones over here. We have our stock trading course, day trading course, swing trading options. So we have a whole bunch of courses over here. So not sure your level of expertise. If you're newer to the stock market, if you need more training, obviously come over here and take our free courses, right? So I wanted to kind of give a quick interjection there because I don't know your level of expertise, so I don't want to just assume that you know something, because support and resistance, it's not, it's something that's easy to learn, but you have to put the time into it, right? So, it's easy to just kind of throw out there, support and resistance, right? But the majority of traders don't know support and resistance, how it works. They don't know candlesticks, right? So these candlesticks, again, they form these really important patterns, and these patterns give you really good clues on when to enter and when to exit a trade, right? So again, there's that whole tug of war concept between fundamental traders and technical traders, and which is better and what should you be. Again, it all depends what type of trader you want to be, right? Do you want to be a long-term trader, or are you going to be a swing trader, or are you going to be more of a options or a day trader, right? So again, depending on your trading style is where you're going to, decide whether you're going to be a fundamental or a technical trader or a combination of both. If you're a long-term trader, then you're going to probably look more into the fundamentals of a company. If you're a short-term or a day trader, you're probably going to look more at the technicals, right? So, but the thing that you got to remember, and it's very important, is even if you're, we're more technical traders in our community, because the thing that's really important to remember is the fundamentalists, the fundamental traders, they leave a trail, right? So those that are researching companies and doing their due diligence with fundamental research, when they buy or sell a stock, they are leaving a trail for the technical traders, right? So those that don't want to do fundamental research, they're going to see a trail in the form of these candlesticks, and these candlesticks form incredibly important patterns. Those patterns form support and resistance. So, these support and resistance, it's not just like one way to do it, right? There's several different ways. There's horizontal support and resistance, and then there's angular support and resistance. And then there's, again, the support and resistance that candlestick patterns form, right? So these candlestick patterns will leave a trail. So you're going to see support and resistance with patterns with the candlesticks, also with, just in general, peaks and valleys, right? So it's very important when trading, you want to buy low and sell high, right? So if you're a long trader or you're bullish on a stock, you want to buy at support levels, sell at resistance levels. If you're a short or you're more short biased, you want to sell at peak resistance levels and buy at support levels to cover. And so what I'm going to do in this video is just kind of show you some basics of drawing horizontal and angular support and resistance. And again, if you're new, it takes time to really learn this skill, right? It doesn't happen overnight. So for anybody that's been following us for a while, not sure if you're newer, just coming to us, or if you've been following us for a while, but we don't sugarcoat things, right? We don't just say, oh, okay, come into trading, you're going to learn it right off the bat. It's so simple. You come in, you just buy here, sell here. It's not that easy. And that's why we tell people as well, you want to be careful, right? If you join a company or a group or something that just kind of calls out trade alerts, but you're not learning how to trade yourself, that's going to be a perfect detriment to your success as a trader. You're not going to make it that way. You have to know when to buy and when to sell yourself. You have to make your own trading decisions if you want to be a good trader. And with that takes time. Many traders take months, if not a year plus, to be comfortable with trading. So if you're looking for kind of like that quick fix or that easy hit or a home run to happen with trading, that's not going to happen. It's going to take time, a lot of work. And that's where within our community, we tell people when they join us, get ready to come to work. Treat this like a job, like a profession. If you don't treat trading like a profession and a career, you're not going to become a good trader. You have to really invest in yourself. And these patterns and learning support and resistance take a long time to learn, right? It takes looking at hundreds, if not thousands of charts for these patterns to start to jump out at you. But once they start to jump out at you, then, you'll start seeing patterns in your sleep. You'll start to see charts. Whenever you pull up a chart, you'll see, oh, okay, that's a head and shoulders. Or, oh, that's a double top or a bull flag, a bear flag, or a evening star, a morning star pattern. Again, the more that you study charts, the more that you invest your time into it, the more that these patterns start to jump out at you. So let's just take a company like Apple, right? So let's go and we'll zoom out a little bit. And you'll see Apple over the long term has just been going up, right? But you'll see as it goes up, then it kind of will come back down. And then it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Then really up here, down over here. Really up here, down over here. And then way up over here. So there's peaks, right? Peaks, and then there's valleys right here. Valleys, valleys, valleys. Support levels down here in the valleys, support levels down here, and then peaks right up here. So peaks up here, valleys, resistance up here, support down here, right? So peaks and valleys are support and resistance. And when drawing support and resistance lines, you want to connect the peaks and the valleys and kind of connect, horizontal and angular support and resistance levels. So, we recommend, obviously there's lots of different brokers out there. We're just really huge fans of Thinkorswim. They have really good charting. So you can see up here, here's drawing tools where you can click on the drawing tools and you can see over here, the price level allows me to do lines across, right? And then, so I'll just delete that one. So that's horizontal. So I can draw my lines horizontally with that dollar sign. And then you can see up here, if I click down over in here, this one right here is for trend lines. I can draw a trend line, right? So I can do angular. So I can draw my angular support and resistance levels as well as my horizontal, right? So again, when you're drawing your support and resistance levels, there's so many different lines, that can happen within a chart. So you can do it manually yourself and create your own trend lines manually, right? Or you can also use tools. And a tool that we really recommend using that we love is TrendSpider. And you'll see we actually have an article over on our website over here where you will see that we did a whole thing on trading software or algorithmic trading or AI trading. And you'll see TrendSpider. We have a whole webinar over here where Dan of TrendSpider did a whole webinar on his tool that does pretty much automated trend lines for you. So that's a really powerful tool if you're just kind of getting started with the stock market and you're like, I don't know how to do this yet, but I really want to learn quicker. Number one, we do encourage you to learn how to draw trend lines yourself, but at the same time, we'll put the link below for TrendSpider. We have a partnership with them. You can always pick up their tool. They do a trial. But this is a really cool automated tool where you're able to have trend lines drawn yourself or actually automatically by TrendSpider's software, which makes it really much easier. So again, we encourage you learn how to draw the lines yourself as well as pick up a tool like TrendSpider to help you really kind of cut down on that learning curve, where you can see when their tool kind of draws the support and resistance lines itself. It helps you can kind of look at the charts that they have there and be like, oh, okay, I can see where they connected that peak with that valley, where they have angular support and resistance. So it's a really helpful tool to especially help you out with trading. We absolutely love Trend. You know, it might sound like a product pitch for TrendSpider, which it kind of is, you know, right? We do have a partnership with them. But again, the thing that's important to remember is no matter how good of a trader you are, there are going to be times, again, we're human. We missed things, right? We missed drawing certain lines or certain trend lines. We might see the obvious ones, but might miss the ones that are not so obvious and miss a move. We might miss an entry, or we might miss a warning for an exit as well. So, you know, again, knowing how to do trend lines yourself is important, but having a tool, again, something like TrendSpider really helps. But showing you guys here, just taking, for example, Apple, it's been in kind of an uptrend right over here, or not kind of, in a long-term uptrend, right? You'll see I'm looking at a monthly chart, but there's also weekly charts as well. And then you can go down to daily. Again, determine what type of trading style that you like to, you know, whatever your trading style is. But you can see, go and connect those peaks and the valleys, right? You can see right now for horizontal support and resistance, you can see Apple. Let me actually go up to my drawing tool. I clicked the wrong thing right here. So Apple, as of right now, when I'm making this video, it's the peak that its all-time highs is 229.67. So here's a horizontal line you could draw, right? And you can see down in right over here, here's kind of a valley area. You can see, you know, some support. So Apple went up, came back down, it held, it went back up, and so far it's not able to break this previous level of a peak. So this is a peak level. Here is the recent valley down over here. So here's horizontal resistance, horizontal support. You could also, again, connect other previous areas, like right in here for support. So you can kind of draw a line. Sometimes it's not going to be perfect, right? Again, this is where if you start drawing these lines manually, which we encourage you to do, there's also can be lots of horizontal and support and resistant, horizontal and angular support and resistance lines. And that's where you can draw them all yourself, or you can use a helpful tool like TrendSpider. You can see coming down over here, here was a level that right in here was previous resistance. Many times the price tried to touch this resistance level and it wouldn't break. And then it finally breaks out, right? So these are just kind of some areas of connecting peaks with some of these valleys, going down here, and then you can see going across, you know, here's some previous resistance up here. So when a stock breaks resistance, these areas up here, it then becomes support. So sometimes you'll get like this. Many times it'll happen. A stock will go, it'll break out, or it'll give you a false breakout. And then if it, you know, as it breaks resistance, once it retests, if it fails that support, now you can connect other levels of support and resistance. So again, resistance, stock needs to break above, and when it retests its support, you want to see it hold if you're bullish on the stock. Again, many times there'll be false breakouts, happens all the time, but it's just connecting these peaks and then previous peaks, which those previous peaks then become support levels, right? You can kind of go down and just keep going throughout this, right? So you can see back here, this resistance level goes across, right over across the chart here. So you'll see stock, Apple breaks up, goes up, comes back, comes down, retests it down here, you know, gets shaky right down here, and then it starts to go up. So again, if a stock fails support, so if it breaks out, comes back down and fails, that support level then becomes resistance again, right? It's all about support and resistance, right? Support, resistance patterns over and over and over again. And let me just remove the drawings here. And you'll see there's also angular support and resistance that you can draw, connecting these valleys, right? So I actually have on my my drawing tools, you'll see if I write, let me just I'll do a drawing again, just put a random line. If you right click on it, click edit properties, you can put left extension on, to make it go across, right? Left extension and right extension. This is what enables my lines to go across a screen like this, so it's not just a smaller area. So again, when you do this, it enables you to see where a stock might be going potentially in the future, right? So, you can go over here and now do angular support and resistance, connect these valleys, right? So connect here, to this area right here. Sometimes, again, it's not going to be perfect. So kind of it's holding this area here, kind of a false fell here, and then the buyers came back in to put it back up. So you want to connect at least 2 areas, and then 3 or more is obviously better. So you can see here's 1, 2 areas of support here. Now let's go back to, let's see the weekly chart if that goes. So you can see connecting here to here kind of goes back over to this one right here, and then you could also do this as well. So you can now connect back over here. You can kind of connect into right over here. So these areas, these bases can connect all the way up here, right? So you can now, again, take your lines up here and connect them over into here, right? So connecting these peaks right over in here. And then that goes into the future as well. So, as it's going up, now price, again, it gets overextended. Might want to come back down and retest, right? So let me go back down to a day. So this is a weekly, right? So now I can go to a daily chart as well. And then there's other channels. So right here, I can go and connect these areas up within here. And I could have drawn a channel kind of right in here. Price is going up and then it starts to fail. And then there's more trend lines, right? So it's just, it's all, there's so many different ways to do this, right? I'm showing you the basics, right? I'm showing you basic horizontal support and resistance, connecting these right here. There's a peak, and a peak, a valley, a valley, a valley, which creates these channels, right? And those channels form very important patterns. And within those channels are other patterns. So these areas are resistance levels and support levels, as well as, again, you can have the channel like this, just doing something like this, connecting the peaks and the valleys. And then you could also do, horizontal right across. So you could do horizontal up here. You can have the channels in over here. You could also, again, connect other channels down as well. So you can just do, that was when the stock was going up. You could also do right here, kind of when the stock is falling, creates a channel down like this, right? Connecting the peaks and the valleys. So going up, like this, right? Drawing your trend lines. Stock is going up. Now it's coming down. Now it might be going to potentially create another channel. So you can see, as I'm making this video, there's lots of lines, right? There are a lot of lines that that you have to draw. So again, very important. This is critical. This is essential to trading. If you're like, oh man, that's like, I don't want to do that. Well, first of all, you need to. You need to know support and resistance. That's the essentials to trading. If you don't have these lines, these horizontal, angular support and resistance levels, you're not going to know support and resistance. You're not going to know when to get in and when to get out of a trade. That's where, again, and you could say, well, let me just pay some other company, right? Let me pay them to tell me when to get in and out of a trade. Well, the problem is you have to know exactly when they're getting in and when they're getting out of a trade. And if you're at work or you're sick that day, you're in a team meeting and they call an entry or an exit, and if you miss it, stocks fall. There are big days where a stock will start selling off, and what happens if you had the flu, right? Or you're sick or a stomach bug and you're in a trade up here and then you're supposed to take profits. The company calls a sell order and now you're getting whacked down over here. You lost a ton of money. You would have known when to potentially get in and out if you knew how to draw these lines yourself and you know how to do support and resistance. Again, nothing is foolproof, right? We wish there was. We'd all be millionaires in the stock market if we all knew what a stock is going to do all the time. But again, knowing how to develop this skill set of drawing trend lines and angular and horizontal support and resistance, all that stuff is incredibly important. But like I said to you, we do have an awesome tool that we recommend in Trend Spider that really does it all yourself. If you're not a member of our community yet on Facebook, come and join us. We are the Bullish Bears. You will see right up here, we call ourselves the stock market community, just to differentiate ourselves from our fan page over here. So make sure to like and follow our fan page as well as join our Facebook group. You will notice when you join our community, we keep all the spammers, the trolls, and the stock pumpers out. So we run a really good, clean Facebook group. So if you want to join a community of other traders around the world, make sure to come and join us. Also, too, if you have not been over to our website, head over to bullishbears.com. You'll have the links below. And you'll see over on our website, we'll have several different trade rooms over here. We have a day trade room. We have a swing trade room, a futures trade room, other great areas of support. So not only do we have our Facebook community, we also have our trade rooms that are open 24/7. So you can talk to traders from around the world anytime, day or night. And it's a really helpful resource, especially if you're new and just getting started in the stock market. It's nice to have other traders around the world as support. So we have our several different trade rooms, our Facebook group. We also do watch lists and trade alert setups every night. We send out key breakout and breakdown areas on our alert service each night. We are not stock pumpers. We do not call out entries and exits. We help to teach you to become your own trader. So again, we help to guide you, but we're not calling entries and exits because we are not stock pumpers. So make sure you read about our alert service over here if you want to know how our trade alerts work. We do also have thousands of dollars worth of free courses over here to help you get started. So if you're new, give yourself a few months to get comfortable with trading. You know, it takes many traders, a few months, if not a year plus, before they get really comfortable. And that's why we suggest taking our free courses and then practice in a virtual account like Thinkorswim or Interactive Brokers to really get comfortable. Make a few hundred practice trades, practice in our trade rooms, talk to other traders around the world, and just get yourself comfortable with trading. And then when you're really comfortable, then start trading with real money. You'll see right here, we also have our ebook, so make sure to grab that. We have a free candlesticks ebook as well as our wallpaper backgrounds as well. So we offer so much value to our community members. So if you are not a member yet, make sure to just click the subscribe button over here and you can come and join our community. And also don't forget, if you like this video, make sure to like it, comment on it, and share it. We would greatly appreciate it. And we will see you in our community. Enjoy.